Hey everybody, it's Paul, and I am on my 7th day of taking Chantix, the stop smoking drug, and I have some good news, I think, to report. Well, yeah, I do. I have some good news to report. The good news is that as of yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, the 6th day that I was on Chantix, as of yesterday at about 9 o'clock in the evening, that was my last cigarette. And so I have been smoke-free. It is just a little after 6 o'clock here, 6 p.m. on Thursday, August the... I'm sorry, I got to cheat and look at my calendar. Thursday, August 11th, and it's about 6:10 p.m. And so in about 3 hours, I will have made it 24 hours without having a cigarette. And in addition to taking the Chantix, I've been reading this book, and the book is called, I found it online, it's called Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking. And this guy is a British author. He was actually an accountant. I think this is the only book he's written. He was an accountant who was smoking, he said between, at his low end, he was smoking like 60 cigarettes a day, which is 3 packs. There's 20 cigarettes in a pack. And at his worst, he was smoking 100 cigarettes a day, which is 5 packs. So 3 to 5 packs a day. And he basically quit overnight. I mean, he said he smoked 100 cigarettes on his last day of smoking, and then and woke up the next day and went cold turkey. But his book is really interesting. It's only about 110 pages. I'd say I'm on about page 60. And his book is really interesting from the perspective of it's kind of philosophical. And so last night I was reading. I was sitting in my easy chair reading, and of course I had my ashtray and my cigarettes right next to me. And in fact, I should say, in his book he actually says to not stop smoking until you're finished reading the book. So anyway, I had my cigarettes next to me and my my lighter and my ashtray. And so I was sitting there and I was like, you know, thinking about a lot of the stuff that he talks about in the book. I was thinking, because he talks about the fact that, you know, you're really not giving anything up by quitting smoking. You're actually gaining all of these other things, like gaining new taste, new smell, you know, fresh lungs, you know, a newfound healthfulness, all that kind of stuff. And he was also talking about the fact that smoking doesn't, in fact, give you enjoyment. It's an illusion. The enjoyment is an illusion, and that you've basically been brainwashed to think that it is an enjoyment, and it's really not. And so I'm like, I don't know if I buy all that. And because I'm like, I was sitting there thinking, man, you know what I really know right now is that I really would like to have a cigarette. And of course, up to that point, it had only been an hour or so. And so I started thinking, of course, if you know me, you know that I tend to overthink everything. And I started thinking, well, do I really want a cigarette, or do I just think I want a cigarette, or do I just want a cigarette because they're there, or, you know, can I go without one, or maybe I'll go 10 more minutes. And I kept trying to, because that's one of his strategies also, is that, you know, although the withdrawals are strong, there's no actual pain with nicotine withdrawal. And in general, what he says is that if you go from anywhere from like a minute to 2 minutes, if you can push through that craving or whatever, you'll find that you're through it, and then you just do as best you can until the next craving. So anyway, I was having this, you know, back and forth. I had this little guy on this shoulder saying, yeah, you want a cigarette? And the guy on this side was saying, no, you really don't. And one of the other things I was really looking at was that he said, one of the things he talks about is the fact that you don't need to learn how to quit smoking, because you quit smoking every time you put a cigarette out. You actually quit smoking every time you put a cigarette out, and it doesn't take, within the first hour of not smoking, your body actually starts to repair itself, and you start to go through stages of basically counteracting the negative effects of smoking. What the trouble is staying quit, as he would put it. So staying, once you put that cigarette out, staying, not lighting up again. And so I was actually having this thought back and forth. I was like, should I have one? Shouldn't I have one? Should I? Whatever. And I think what kept me from lighting another cigarette was the fact that I felt as though I was like, well, I've not smoked for an hour. And so I started thinking about this. I started thinking about the fact that I feel as though from reading what I did was that my body is actually in repair mode now. And I've certainly gone longer than 2 hours before, but I was just, thinking this time, well, my body's in repair mode now, and if I light another cigarette, even if I have just one more, I got to start. I've lost this hour, and I've got to go back and start over again. So that kind of was the thing that did it for me. All day today, I stayed very busy. I didn't take a lot of breaks from work. The other thing that is in his book is he talks about the fact that you shouldn't stop taking breaks. You shouldn't stop doing the things that you enjoy. You just do them without smoking. So I probably need to find a little bit better balance. But because today I pretty much stayed busy the whole time. But I did that purposefully because I didn't want a lot of extra time on my hands to think about. Well, and this morning I think I made the best decision because one of the things I forgot to say, I'm sorry, I'm so unorganized. That's probably because I'm going through nicotine withdrawal. But when I was back and forth about should I have one or shouldn't I have one when I was reading this book, I thought, well, you know what? I can't concentrate on the book anymore because I'm having this conversation with myself about should I or shouldn't I. So I'm like, I'm going to move these cigarettes. So I actually took the cigarettes, the lighter, and the ashtray and moved them out into the kitchen away from me. And I came back in and I sat down and I was like, almost like, oh my God, thank God. I don't have to... So anyway, then I started concentrating on the book. Then this morning, I, of course, walk out in the kitchen, and there are my cigarettes and my lighter and my ashtray on the counter, and they're there. And I'm like, well, should I take them to work? Maybe I should just put them in my bag, but I won't take them out. Or maybe I should take them and just leave them in the car. Or maybe, no, I really should leave them at home. You know what I thought? I'm never going to know if I can make it through the day without taking them. So you know what? I'm going to leave them at home today. And if I need them, if I break down and I have to have a cigarette, if I have a nervous breakdown or whatever, then I'll just have to go buy a pack when I'm at work. I can do that. That's not a big deal. So the good news is that I made it the whole day. I left the cigarettes here at home. Never went and had one. So I'm still officially smoke free. I think that the Chantix is actually helping with the physical withdrawal or the physical the physical change, because I'm not having a lot of I don't feel like I'm really jonesing for a cigarette that bad. I think though the mental addiction, the fact that I'm used to having something here in between these fingers, the fact that I had a long meeting today at work, and after the meeting, it used to be where if it got to be close to the end of a meeting, I was like, oh, just 5 more minutes and I go have a cigarette and relax and this. And I will tell you, I'm not depressed, so I don't have any of the depression side effects that you supposedly can get from Chantix. But I am a little sad, and I'm sad because I feel as though I don't have that to look forward to anymore. So I guess I just have to find other things, I just said it's almost like, I was talking to my friend Michelle earlier today, and I said it's almost like cleansing the palate. I was always able to have a cigarette kind of between, I got done with this project, so then I'd take a break and have a cigarette, and it would I'm sure it didn't, but it felt as though I was clearing my mind, I was changing gears, and so I don't feel like I have that anymore, and so I do miss that. Or I do miss that feeling. But it's also only been less than 24 hours, so maybe that will dissipate with time. Certainly, if you've smoked and quit before, and you have any thoughts or ideas or aha moments, oh yeah, I remember I went through that or whatever, certainly let me know. I'm making this video a much shorter than the last one. I know it was a little overkill. Hopefully, it looks like, gosh, it's not telling me how many minutes. Oh yeah, I'm at 9 minutes, so no longer than, I've got about another minute left. So I guess having said that, I was able to, I guess with the help of Chantix, I was able to quit a day and a half basically before my quit date. Tomorrow is supposed to be my quit date, and I actually quit yesterday, like I said, at 9 o'clock. I have an appointment later on this evening, a phone appointment with my life coach, which is supposed to be the person that is from the insurance company that's part of the I Can Quit program. So she's supposed to call and check on me, and so I'm going to have that. I'm getting ready to work out for about a half an hour on the treadmill. I'm still going strong with that, doing that 4 times a week. And so went to my monthly support group for bariatric surgery this past Monday. A couple of people got surgery dates towards the middle and end of September. So I'm hoping, that if all goes well, it looks like it's probably going to be October for me, if all things go well. But it also looks like we may be able to, this health insurance thing may be put on hold until June of 2012. So keep your fingers crossed and say all the prayers you can that the insurance, I get to stick with the insurance, that I pass the nicotine test on the 1st of September, and that everything goes well. So now I am about 10.5 minutes, so of course, you know me, I always go over time, but thank you for listening. This is the fourth video, but it's really the second. It's just that I had to split the first one into 3. So, but we'll call this number 4 so that we don't confuse anybody. We'll call this number 4, and thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the great comments. I'd like to hear more comments. Let me know what you think, and let me know what words of wisdom you have for me. Thanks a bunch. See y'all. Bye.